Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Forex Black Box. I'm gonna do my weekly review across pound pairs and I'll try to do something extra this time. Let's see. Well, I'm looking at pound USD at the moment. That's the weekly view. As you can see, we are since the beginning of Brexit, and that's a Brexit candle, that's a flash crash candle, then that's a test of these lows, then pop up, come back down, start making high lows and continue all the way up until we have this uncertainty come in play of no deal Brexit on the table, then bound start descending down, as you can see in certain formation, but it's Elliott waves, and there is no any power to keep the currency value up, and that's why we saw all this down move. So I know a lot of people been caught here and they start to long because it's a pullback of this area, but it didn't actually work out. As you can see, it's this consolidate here, buy and seller they're fighting over, and the value of pound itself keep going down, and buy and seller keep fighting fine until we come to this area, and we have Boris Johnson become prime minister, and since he become prime minister, we coming down come to these areas, this low and this low, and we played in between like 50% of these two lows. We start to see movement up since we, as a UK Parliament, did put force Prime Minister not to go through no deal Brexit. So basically, up to this moment, no deal Brexit is off the table, and Boris Johnson now is working hard to get a deal, the backstop and all the stuff between Europe and us, and look like it's Europe really want to work out with us, and they want to give us more time, around 3 months period of time, I think, or 4 months. I'm not sure what they're going to agree on, but ultimately we are not going to go on no deal, and you can see it in the market already. So the value of pound is actually increased since we have this. Since we have the parliament started to work out itself to not have no deal on the table, and they put it on low, so it's been a lot of stuff going on, but ultimately we are jumped just from here about 550 pips, I believe. Let me just count this quickly, and I've been longing since 528 pips, but that's it just the start. That's just the start of the big move up. Probably gonna break here. I did say that many times before. That's the weekly view, and we can see the bullish pattern candlestick. We have one green, two green weeks, then one red resting. Then the second one was going down further, and I said that if we break lower, we could make another pattern. Then we have to watch out from where. However, at these areas is pound been very cheap. The value of pound was very down. So a lot of investors waiting down there, and I was right. You can see it in the market. It's actually popped up here, and I expect the next week we could just have a small pullback to this low, at this low here, and which is just, let's say, the price, because of other people wanted to know that 123 500 is going to just maybe break it a little bit and continue back up. We're going to test that high, and between this low and that high, you're going to be a very interesting area to continue buying up move. That's the weekly view. Weekly view normally doesn't show much of patterns of Elliott waves itself, and I love to play Elliott wave all the time in any market. It does work. It could be extended a little bit, but as long as you can see a wick like those guys here, this one, you expect that there is a buyer actually interesting here, and you jump in. So you could just beginning of the week, you see the pound going down, for example, as an investor, then you start your week is going down, you put your order buy above the opening of the candle week. That's another strategy you can do it in long term if you're working, if you're not full time like me. I'm intraday and monthly swing trader as well. So and I leave orders running in the market for a period of time of 3 months to see the quarter of the year, to see how much I can make out of days. Plus I do intraday, so I get in and out, and see where I am percentage wise of my trading. And if I see that it's going against me, I can hedge it by trading different currencies to balance my exposure. So let's go down to the daily view. Let me just show you my drawing, and let me just zoom in. The last time I did a quick update, I said the bound is gonna from here. It was like Sunday, I think. I did the update and I said we are here now. We touched this low and we will kind of pull back around this area, and we did exactly as I said. And it's not exactly it's gonna happen as I said. I said maybe 30%, 38% is. I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm just see what the best possibility, probability, high probability trade, and I will trade it. I'm long anyway from here, this area, and I'm keeping it long because I know I wanted to touch this trend line first. When I touch that trend line, I will exit 50% of my swing trading from down here. I expect it to come down this direction for pullback on the longer time frame, which you can see the very nice big wave, very, very interesting. One, two, three, rest, one, two, rest, rest, one big, then of course another rest one here. So the next move as follow. I suggested that we wait here to see where the bound is going to touch these lows here, or is going to come back down to this area. If he come back down to this area, I will be loading again because this is a 50% of this high and this low. That what I've been mentioned before. 135, 200 is almost there. I mean, like it could open on Sunday night, it could open up there and it continue down and continue down here to test here. Then after that, we'll see maybe Monday will be like a wick, green or red, depends. It doesn't matter really on the daily. The next day, we could go back down here and continue all the way up, break that high and do kind of pattern to touch this trend line. This trend line on the bigger time frame, as you can see, I did mention that before. That's how you know where the market direction or bigger time frame going. It was descending down here, come back, break that trend line, touch that one. Now we have another trend line, big one. Then it started descending again. We broke that trend line. We keep going, going, going down. Then I started angling all the trend line itself down. All right. So now we broke that the first level, the first level of the trend line. We broke it. Now we are. I did say from here is gonna come back and touch that one and pull back, but that pull back actually extended. However, it didn't close below this low. That's the confirmation that says big sharks down here waiting for the bound to come back down here, and the news is the one that's driving the market. So the news was good here. It was just to keep going as it was, nothing. Then after that, I started hearing some good news and started to come back slowly. Then spike back up here. That's when you know green candle like that. That's when you get in next day. Okay, if you're a day trader. If you on a weekly basis, if you look on the weekly, you trade on the daily. If you trade on the monthly, you trade on the weekly, and you look down to the daily. So that's how you do it. There's two steps in the between. If you trade intraday, you look at 4 hours, 1 hour, and 15 minutes. If you in and out during the market, which I don't recommend it very much if you not full time. You can't do that when you're at work or driving or on your phone. You need to actually look to the different market because all the markets are connected. This is like a system. If something moves on the other side of the market, it's going to affect that one and affect every other market because they are like spreadsheet. As soon as you change one cell inside this spreadsheet, it will affect the rest of the cells if you connect it all together as a formula. So market work that way. There is no one pair moving alone, stand alone. No, they are all working as a group. The whole market all connected together. If that currency move is going to affect the stock, regardless if someone buying or selling, is going to affect the value. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'm saying. Uh, it's not that simple to grasp, but it is. Sorry, it's not easy, but it's simple to understand. If something move, the other pairs will move too, regardless. Okay, so as you can see here, so I expect it to open up here, for example, high, or you can open the same high. You can just break the high and continue down to pullback and maybe reject it a little bit and continue back down here, reject it a little bit, as long as there is no news. If there's no news, that's mean bound just taking a break. They rest, okay? So you can take a break and continue its way up. I'm waiting for it down here to load more positions. However, I already hedge it by different pairs. I will talk about that in different video, how to hedge in different pairs against the pairs you're doing. And there's a lot of things you need to do to confirm, to protect your account overall. So I expect it to come down here on the daily, do some consolidation here, then we see kind of pattern, then we see that pattern break out, and we looking to get up here. So if, for example, if I my target here and the bound maybe come down to this area, took about 200 pips on that pair alone, but already trading all pound pairs except the pound Swiss. I don't do it. Even I do now euro pound because it's very quite attractive at the moment. It's going down nicely, and I'm expected to pull back. So I'm hedging between these two pairs. Um, if I drill down to the 4 hours, because a lot of people ask for this as well, the pattern is almost complete. It didn't touch you here, as I said, 30. How much he went down for? No, that's the high of it. So we can say, okay, it went down 24%. That's strong trend. So you understand? So that's something you need to learn as well. So if we have a big move up, okay, just let me put this here to make it simple for everyone. If we have a big move up and come back and do only maybe 20%, but it didn't go to 50%. I mean, like, is still uncertainty or something. But now it's just 23, 20, 22% or 23 or 30%. It doesn't matter. As long as it's not 50-50, it's less than 50%. That means there's a lot of buyer really want to jump in the market. So now we are actually break the previous high and we went up. We went up to where? 200, 220% from the low. Okay. We went to 220% from the low, but not from the low exactly, but if I just if we can just put this back with one, two, three, with four, with five. Suspect A, B, C. There is something I was trying this morning is like a ghost chart. So I expect it to come down here, for example. This is lows. This is 4 hours. Then we come back here with one, two, three, for example. Then come back up here, break the high a little bit, come back down, and continue its way up. Okay, so that's something can help you, but don't rely on it. It's not going to exactly match what's happening exactly, but just as an example. So don't take it for granted. So that looks like head and shoulder here, if you can see. So I'm expected to come back down here, do some work up here, 50, 60% pull back, A, B, C, then one, two, three. Then come another one here and continue its way up. So that's my view. I'm going to leave it there. Let's just move on to the next. That's the bound index, as you can see, lovely moving. We just put it in the weekly. Last time I spoke about it, it is a very interesting area. We have a double bottom here. We broke the high. We broke this one here, that high. It was no high, but just one pull back and continue down, but actually it just snapped up. So that's 2 weeks so far green. I expect that we could be just playing a little bit here, since the Brexit is still not on stone, written on stone yet. But no deal is off the table, and that's great news since this area. So if we look around and try to match what that candle look like this one here, and the next one, yeah, almost the same as these two, then is a strong momentum. Then we should see pullback for another. Before October, I think we will come back up here. That's before October, because that's when we can come touch these highs and lows here. Let me just highlight this here. So we can come back up here to 130, which is mean maybe 140 on pound USD. But we're gonna get up to 130 first, then we play a couple of days, 135, then we'll see what's going on. If Boris come up with a good deal, then we will be keep going up because we have two good news. No deal is off the table. Secondly, Boris actually is working and is trying to make a deal. So I expect it to come back up here next couple of weeks. Could take 1 week. You never know. Maybe next week is going to just, regardless what I'm saying, and it will bang up here and touch here and try to do wave. And his market, as you can see, for the past 3 years, is making waves. It doesn't just go up. This is with the Brexit, but you can see here from here, if it started going down, that's bearish, and you don't want to risk on election or a referendum. That was a referendum. Then if we have the election coming in play, because they were talking about making a referendum too, we could see, look, we could see this move here, we could see green here. So, and it looks like 1, 2, 3 broke it. Look, if you 4 to come here, maybe, I don't know. 5 is going to be continue, or it's going to break this pattern and continue all the way up to referendum day, which is 150. Everyone's saying pound USD will come up to 150. Goldman Sachs, I think he just announced that maybe 150 if we have referendum again. And I'm sure there's a lot of people been cut off in a referendum. Big money up there, still there, and I'm sure they're waiting for it very much indeed. But we will see. We will see. Let's just play what we can see now. We'll stick to the daily and the 4 hours view and watch out for the news and what other pairs doing with the pound, like a dollar and euro. Europe it popped up last see ECB, and a lot of people expect it to be down, but it's fooled everyone and continue its way up as a double bottom. I did mention that to who I don't know, not on my channel, but somewhere else. Let me just quickly hide all this. That's about yen. About yen is amazing. As you can see, we have a string of the yen to come back to this area, actually fooled everyone and broke it and continue well down. So far, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, months and a quarter green. Okay, it's only 1, 2, then consolidation area here and break higher. Now we are at 135. We hit 135. Let me put back my drawing and we'll see where we're standing on the daily. Okay, that was my area to exit here. I did exit, and that's the pullback of the parliament when he did try to stop Boris Johnson from. Boris Johnson would say that his no deal is he's gonna get out with no deal and was disaster and all stuff. Then the parliament stand against him, and that's what we see here that day. The next day engulfed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 days engulfed. We break this consolidation area. This is wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3 nicely up, strong momentum. We should wave 4 probably is going to play a little bit in this area. Let me get that ghost stuff. I think I like it. Let me just come back here. We'll come back maybe from this low, these lows here. I'll see. Then wave 5 probably is going to come up to this highs between this high and this high. We could just 50% here. Let's see if we can make this happen. Which is 130, 137. But I expected that to be 140. Bound come back to 140 area. If we look to 140 area, well, here you go. You could play this area very well. If we just extend it that low, that could be our target. So I expect it to come back up here. Let me just move this up. Office is not going to do this, and I can't do it anymore. Maybe it will do that. Maybe just extend it. Just rough idea what can happen. This is just like a ghost, but it's not really market price. But from algorithm they do these things. So as you can see, you can come up here 140, then come back down, do ABC 1, 2, 3. Maybe we'll break higher if we have a referendum 2, which is, in my opinion, I think is going to go ahead. I think we're going to have a referendum 2 because now the parliament can't move on. It can't take no deal of that. They cannot take no deal because it's going to harm the country very badly. It's like crazy after they did a lot of research and stuff, and that's only the surface because after a while, if we don't have a new deal, we're gonna have a lot of trouble, a lot of stuff. This only the major things gonna happen, but everything got its own chain reaction and details down the line. There's gonna be a lot of issues. Traveling, sending items, seller, buyers, and all this stuff is gonna affect everybody. It's gonna affect Europe, and it's gonna affect us more. So I think referendum two is going to be high probability, 90% now, because the government and the parliament can't come to agreement, and we cannot crash out of Europe with no deal. Now they're going to put it back to the people. Referendum two, there is no harm of doing this, absolutely no harm. So everyone saw the other side of no Brexit, of Brexit. Now maybe everyone will change their mind. You never know. Maybe we will have to leave. But I want the parliament and the government to put it clearly for everybody now. I want them to put it out like, okay, guys, everyone, okay, country, if we are going to leave Europe and we have no deal, that's what's going to happen. If we have a deal and they agree, that's what will happen. But if we stay, that's what will happen. Okay, so you have a choice to choose which direction we should take, and the high majority we will win this debate, and we will move on finally. Okay, so that's why I see it is going, and that's regard the trading is absolutely good for the pound. Pound is in keep increasing in value since we said no deal is off the table now. It's been put down on as a low, and that's we moved on one step 3 years later. Okay, it's very important because we moved on one step away from square one of Brexit. So no deal is off the table. Now we have two options. We go with a deal with Europe, and Europe have to agree, or we discuss it and maybe we extend 3 months, or we going to have to do referendum two, and referendum two will reflect on we leave with no deal, but it's been put in as a law, but I don't think that's going to be an option anymore. But we could just tell the people what you want to do. You want to exit with no deal. That kind of makes people kind of like think twice before they make their vote, which is a good thing. And if we if we give it back to the people to decide, parliament and government have nothing to do but to do option one or option two. There is no debate on it. There is no whatsoever. So if the people voted to stay, Article 50 will be revoked and pound will be like up there. So overall, if you look down to the yearly candlestick, you're gonna see like that is a nice pullback. This year is gonna be closing higher than 2016, and we're gonna see that very clearly. 2016 is gonna be like like 50, I don't know, 500 bips lower. So the new high could be 160 on cable, 170. Then cable will start to continue back its way where it's supposed to be the average value before the Brexit announcement itself. Moving on, okay, guys, moving on because it's really getting long now. Okay, yen, as you can see, my last time I was drawing this, I said it's going to come down, the waves. This is extended, this is great. I think on Thursday, Mr. Trump is playing the market, talking about China and the traffic, the tax and all stuff, and he keep moving the gold down. And just to be for your information, gold connected to yen. Gold is weak, yen is weak. Gold is strong, yen is strong in certain condition, in certain time of the day. They are connected. So when Trump was tweeting, he's using his phone. I don't know where, but he's using his phone all the time, and he kind of tweeted and market react to his tweets, and that's, for my opinion, it's like playing the market. I don't know why a president of a country keep tweeting unless he's got a goal to do. He can talk directly to the person. He doesn't have to tweet to everybody and make market unstable like that. So it's good. The good side of it, we know what he's thinking and what he's want trying to do, and that's good to know why the market is moving. So which is a good thing. But at the same time, it's harm a lot of people like invest a long time because it's uncertainty in it's uncertainty of the market, the stock, every whole market as a whole. If someone like Trump, he's holding a big position on the world, like he's a president of the United States. So if he tweet any tweet, it could harm a lot of people, and he doesn't know that. He's only typing it, and he's saying what he think without even talking to his advisor. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just tweeted on his way somewhere, and he's not only tweeting for a friend. You tweeting for the whole world, and people get that could lose all their money, or because in my opinion, it's not fair. That should be banned. No one, no, that should be put in law nowadays. No responsible position in the government to keep tweeting or advertise information for is really make a disaster for everyone. So at the same time, it's good for as a trader, but for me, it's good, but at the same time, it's bad for other people, and bad for me could be bad for me sometime as well. You keep tweeting, and that tweet moved the market very badly for other people. So just keep in mind that the market is uncertain and uncertain in unpredictable way because we got a player using their tweet and media to move the market, that which is not supposed to be that way. But we are going down to 2020, and I don't know how things is gonna be next, but we will see. Just keep in mind that Trump can move the market very well for certain reasons. So moving on, uh, as you see, Bound Aussie. Um, Bound Aussie originally it didn't really go down to the previous area here. As I said, Bound value itself is stronger than Aussie value. That's why all bound pairs itself, not all of them, just the cable and all stuff that all the others they went down here. But because Aussie was less than pound in value, as a spreadsheet, you spreadsheet when you playing with the cell, that's percentage wise and all stuff. This is exactly the same thing. So as you can see here, there's a lot of drawing. Just remove everything, just make it clean. As you can see here, that's on the daily. Now we made one, two, three, four. Four is very small. Five, and consolidate a little bit here. Break that two highs. Come back. We close below it, which is the signal is a short. I said short from here. Expected to come back up here. It went up, close. It did close below, then come back down again and keep going up. Just to be aware, Bound Aussie is connected to the stock, and Trump is trying to make the stock strong for his election, which is something we know about for years now. So, and that's why.